listener. This is Marty V, and I have exciting news. We are now sponsored by Plotter.com. So, as you remember from our conversation with Troy Lambert, Plotter is a storyboarding software that is really lovely and intuitive to use, but also very easy to move and drag different parts of your story around. So that is Plotter.com, Plottr.com. If you haven't checked them out, definitely do it. It's a very cool piece of software. Anyway, thank you so much for being here. Thank you, Plotter. We're excited to have you. And let's get on to the show. You guys are so cute. Thanks. We're in.
Yeah, we're in, baby.
We're here. We're here, chickadees.
Hi, Marty.
Hi, Kate.
And
Who
hi,
are
listener. We're doing this so weird.
We're
I'm
so
Kate Pryor.
used to this.
And that's Marty V.
And your listener.
And your listener. You're very important. You're what makes
You're
the
so
magic
important.
happen.
We're really happy you're here.
Yeah.
And
gosh.
we are Romance Writers Therapy.
Thank you for. I would have forgotten that.
Where
we said our names.
voices?
That's all we need.
That's it. No one cares about anything else.
This being nice to the listener is new, but we'll try
I
it
know.
on.
We'll try it on. We'll see what happens this season, listener. We don't know.
Yeah, we might actually like you this time around.
Oh, God. That already feels uncomfortable.
Yeah, you don't like it?
I do like listener, but I like giving listener a hard time. Listener just never contributes.
Yeah, no, they're such a lurker.
Such a lurker. Long-time listener, always lurking. And by the way, thank you for being a long-time listener.
Yes, thank you for
I am
lurking.
like skating such a line right here where I'm like, this is a fun little joke, and also like, but like I do love you. So I don't know.
You have to have like a weird little like need to be passive aggressive at.
Yeah.
To listen to this pod.
We have to vaguely gaslight them into thinking they need us.
Yeah, because they do.
Because you do.
Without us.
Where would you?
Listening to a different podcast, probably.
Get out of here. There are no other podcasts. Listener, no other podcast exists.
No.
There are so many podcasts.
To.
I listen to so many podcasts,
God,
honestly.
I know. You every week you're like, "Ooh, listen to this episode of these people," and I'm like,
"Oh my!"
I'm so picky about podcasts because, like, I do that parasocial thing where it's like, "All right, now I'm in love with all of you people," but like,
yeah, I do that
obviously
too.
I keep it to myself. I don't be weird about it on the internet. But then it's like these people are my favorite, and then whenever they have like a guest on, I'm like, a guest.
See, I really enjoy, and like you are resistant towards guests on our show too. I really enjoy guest shows.
I'm not a
because you get
person.
like a new perspective. There's a couple of most of the things I listen to tend to regularly have guests on it.
Oh,
and I
okay,
really
that's
like that because like then I'm not just hearing the same advice from like the people that are always on the show.
Is that the problem with our show? It's just
no, because we have guests.
Oh, we do have guests.
We do have guests. Mostly because I made you.
Well, no, I mean, I think first guest we had was actually my idea, right? It was Roxy.
Was that the first or was that Amanda? Roxy was definitely your idea.
Roxy was my idea, but like your friend Amanda was the first actually.
Yes. And Amanda's interview was awesome. And she's just such a technical mind. And a complete juxtaposition to Roxy's mind that just like puts together things and pushes them out.
Do you think if you put the two of them in a room, like just polar vortexes would form because of like just the difference?
Amazing. That's amazing. Well, for one thing, I think they'd come up with some really interesting conversation and I really would love to listen.
Oh yeah, no, that would be next level.
Yeah. They both have like very like strong like geekdoms that they both like are really like into like information.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would be very interesting. Huh. So I want them to start a podcast now.
Hi, you two people who've never met each other, we're going to stick you in a room with some microphones.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to lock you in there for a couple hours.
Just hash it out, okay?
Yeah.
We'll make something out of this. So, listener, Kate and I'm sure you've already noticed, but Kate and I are back.
Yeah.
From our couple-week hiatus.
From outer space.
And how in outer space?
God, I was going to start singing that song that we absolutely don't have the rights to. And I look upon your face one more time again.
Oh, no, that's not Shania Twain. That's I Will Survive by Gloria. We're going to have to look it up. Gloria Gaynor. Okay, but Kate and I want to talk to you about what we've been doing on our little break.
Yeah, what have you been up to?
What have you been up to?
Well, I asked you first.
Oh, I thought you were asking listener.
Oh, listener, what have you been up to? And then we paused for 20 minutes. No, you, Marty. What have you been? What have I been doing? A lot.
Well, my family has been sick.
Yeah,
we've had the allergies, and it has grown into sinus infections and such like that. We've all been pretty down and out. So I haven't gotten as much writing done as I would like to.
Isn't that how it always goes?
Oh my gosh. I feel like the only recap I can give to people is like I have a little bit of recap about writing, but a lot of recap about life. So both my kids had birthdays and birthday parties. Ooh. And that was really fun. It was Ash's first birthday party because of the pandemic. He turned 1 in April of 2020, and he just turned 4 in April of 23. And so he had a birthday party, and that was so fun. I'm trying not to like think of only recaps about my children. I finished that. My number one success is finishing that short story and working through like plot issues for this book. Those are my number one successes. I'm super happy with that short story. I really love short stories. I should write like a lot more of them because I enjoy short fiction.
Short stories are so underrated, and I'm sure I've already like said this on the podcast before, some previous season. I remember in college, like the one and only writing class I took, because like I was so scared to take like a creative writing class and find out that I was bad at it. You know?
Oh no.
You know, to like feel like I don't know, just like my entire experience with other writers up until that point had been like this really gross over competitiveness, the need to tear everyone down, and like the way that you protected yourself was to like tear people down. And so it was just like, it was gross. It was really negative.
I feel like that's just like the nature of like being good at anything is like other people are like, oh yeah, you think you're good. But like, can you do this? You know? Yeah. And so like, I don't think it's a writer specific thing, but it is. And I have, prior to, like, I have had a number of really positive, like, writer groups that I was, like, from growing up and stuff like that. But I also, my insecurities kind of came late in the game for me. Does that make sense? Like, my ability to overthink. I was a naturally confident child. And I became more insecure with age.
Aww.
Yeah.
So I think, like, the more you, like, really care about something and, like, the more time and person you invest into something, then the more room for insecurity there is, you know? Yeah.
Well, I also think that, like, I got to see a lot of other people be very good at it.
Yeah.
Right? And so, like, I'm a naturally very competitive person. And so watching other people be very good at it also struck
it hurts.
a chord of my insecurity. Yeah. Which
you watch and you just immediately feel shitty.
Yeah, exactly. And, like, the thing is like, I would hate for someone to feel that way about anything I do.
Yeah.
Right? So, like, it's definitely not coming from a mature place. But, like, you know, it's also still real. And it's gotten a lot better. I would like to think that I have grown a lot in that way. But
yeah, same.
Yeah, but I understand your hesitance and like why you were feeling the way you were feeling. We digress.
I've absolutely lost the reason I started that story.
Oh
my god.
I understand why, because I took us on quite a little journey through the woods.
No, and usually I'm able to like hold on to the thought that I want to like express through the detour. I've lost it. What were we talking about before this?
Before I just totally derailed and took over the conversation, what we were talking about.
Short stories. Oh my god.
Short stories, and that you never did creative writing in college.
Also, and like, you know, I think especially when you're young, or especially when you're kind of, you think you're at the top of your game, but you're really just at the starting line.
Yes.
You know?
Isn't that the truth? Yes, because I know exactly what you're talking about.
A phenomenon I've seen, like, I feel like I could pin it on a lot of like film majors that I was like in the same class as when I was a film major, because I constantly saw other people do this with their scripts. But like I also experienced it very much as like in writing. This idea that the first thing that you make has to be your magnum opus. You know?
Oh my gosh.
The first thing that you're going to make is going to be perfect and beautiful and blow everyone out of the water. If only you could just finish this one book. And of course, it's going to be 1,000 pages long, you know?
And it has to be the most complex storyline where you're fitting everything you possibly can into this story.
Yes.
Yes.
And so I kind of like looked down on short stories for a bit. Like, ugh, I could never do a short story. You know, like, I don't want to waste my time on that. I don't want to do small ideas. I just want to work on my magnum opus. You know.
Well, and then I also had like the whole like, I don't know, my ideas are just too complex for like a short medium. You know, like.
See, the thing like, that like, two things changed my mind. Like that one creative writing class I took in college, which I wish I had like not put it off so long and like allowed myself the time to take more, because I took it at my very last semester. And it really, like, we read so many beautiful short stories, and like really short too, that it just opened up, you know, to me what a short story could be, how much more impactful it can be, because it has the quickness.
You're packing a punch in like such a small amount of time. Well, and then I think also like the idea of like, oh, my ideas are just too complex to like narrow down. Like what you're missing is like the challenge of creating something really like impactful and memorable with the constraints of time, and like it, like you're minimizing the art form of short story by being so precious.
Yeah.
Right.
And like, okay, so this is like, to me, the most ironic place to find it from. And I realize this reference isn't going to make total sense to you, because I don't think you read all that much manga or watch all that much anime.
No, I don't believe I've ever watched an anime, and I've never read a manga. So it will, like, I have an understanding of like how they can go on forever from working in the bookstore.
Yes. Oh my god.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Then you have all you
That's
need.
The important
You've heard
thing.
of Naruto.
Okay. You've had all you need. You are ready to pass this class.
Yes. No.
What?
Okay. You've got it. The 1,000,000 book long saga kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so it was literally like I guess maybe 10 years after Naruto first came out, it was like, you know, a recently republished version of the first book. And I remember reading in the little like author notes that he puts between the chapters, he wrote something like, the reason that this is the story of mine that got picked up by an editor is because this is the first idea I didn't put absolutely everything in the kitchen sink into, and I allowed to just focus on a couple core tenets of an idea.
I love that.
Which is then ironic, because then he did proceed to throw the entire kitchen sink into his idea after like the next 10 books.
Well, but like he got an understanding of like what his hands could hold at one time before doing that, right?
I think
you don't agree?
I think if you read Naruto, you do kind of understand how quickly it kind of stops being the thing it originally was and just kind of becomes an ever-running jump the shark fest.
Okay, gotcha.
But like, you know, like the idea is there. I think it's there for like, and it is good advice. It's just he didn't stick with it. But then again, you know, one of the most successful series ever. So maybe he didn't.
I was gonna say, but also he found great success. So
yeah, no,
he's fine.
Yeah, no, he's fine. He's
doing okay. We're okay with him.
I'm sorry, we are devolving into the tangentiest of tangents, because I'm about to be like, when I was in high school and I had like this one idea that I would never let go of, and every time I had another idea, instead of like putting a pin in either one of them, I would be like, how can I tear out all this other stuff from the first idea to make room for the new ideas? It would constantly be rebuilt into something new.
Meanwhile, when I was writing in school, I was only starting things.
Yeah?
Yeah. Oh, I started so many things. And then I continued to only start things until I actually like completed that little barista novel.
The one you definitely need to like put out there into the world.
Shh. Lower your voice. No. We don't need to be speaking that.
Damn, I think that's like the most authoritarian thing you've ever said to me. Lower your voice. Lower your voice.
Gosh, have I said a lot of authoritarian
no, you
things?
Don't.
Okay, good. I'm like, gosh, who am I?
Ooh, okay.
We do not dismiss the possibility that could happen, but we don't have to put it on the docket right now. But, like, I never finished anything until, like, I was 24, so whatever year that was. And then I didn't finish anything for a long time after that until, like, NaNoWriMo 2015. And then I didn't finish anything after that, except for, like, a couple short stories, or until 2020. And then now I have figured out how to do it and I can finish things now. But yeah, I would be like, I'd get an idea and I'd be like, oh, that's a good idea. I must now trash the thing I'm working on and then move on to the next thing.
So
because ideas are never my problem.
They're different paths. Like,
absolutely. Execution's like, completely different.
But it does come back to that same idea that, like, instead of seeing anything through to the end, you're kind of starting over.
Yeah. Like, well, then you were talking also about, like, having to write your perfect book that first time.
No, if you never finish it, it's still perfect.
What? This is true. But, like, also, I wouldn't let myself embrace genre fiction because I was going to write the next, like, great American novel, right? And so, like, a very, like, elitist perspective on, like, what reading and quality is, right?
Yeah, no, the way that, like, I don't know what it is, where we get this idea, because I definitely had that same idea for the longest time.
The patriarchy.
Yeah, definitely plays a part.
Definitely the patriarchy.
Well, no, I think there's also, like, something to be said
but, like, it's also, like, acolytes
elitist academic.
Collegiates, absolutely.
And, you know, white supremacy and all our favorite things.
Oh, just all the oppressive systems.
Yeah, no, it's... But, like, this idea that, like, good writing and good stories can only come from, like, in one kind of form.
Well, and also that they all must be, like, vaguely masculine and sad, right? Like,
oh my God.
Yeah, that, like, art cannot be, like, happy. It must leave everybody feeling a little bit dirty.
And the way that, like, I remember breaking kind of out of this mindset, God, at one point I was thinking to myself, because, like, I would do this thing where I would have the story I was writing, and then I would have in a different file the fan fiction version of the story, which was the story I actually wanted to write. But it was like, this is the stuff that can't go in the actual canon. Because
that is so interesting.
Not important. And it's obviously it's all the scenes where they're kissing each other. Like,
of
course.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
But so then I kind of had a moment like, what if I, because obviously I'm itching to write kissing scenes and more. That what if I just let myself write the dumbest romance novel possible? I want it to be dumb and I want it to be terrible. And that's going to make me happy, and then I wrote something and I couldn't just let it be dumb. It was, no, it had a very high fantasy-esque plot.
Okay.
But and it was still way more complex and more thought out than I wanted it to be.
Yeah. Well, but I think that is because anytime I'm I'm just going to write whatever I feel like writing and just have fun with it. The reality is that's me as a hobbyist. Right? But me, and I feel very pretentious saying this, but me as an artist can't just do it for fun because I know too much and I want to appreciate it for like being something I made, right?
Yeah.
And so I can't just let anything be that simple because I am also an editor, right? Like, and I want it to create, like, I want to create something I really like.
Yeah. And like, I think there can be a medium for things you like.
I agree.
And things that are fun. I'm sorry, hiccups.
Well, and I think also like this is my experience with writing and like trying to have fun with it. Someone else's experience could be completely different.
Yeah,
right?
Of course. Yeah.
So like just because you're having fun with it doesn't mean I don't find that to be art. Oh,
so we
but
were
I think
talking
that
about like things we did
literary
over the
fiction.
break.
Yeah. Do you want to go back to that?
We can if you don't have any other thoughts you want to touch on.
I mean, I guaranteed my brain is so rambly right now, but I am happy to change the subject and for you to actually say something that you like found success in during the break.
Oh, okay. Because that is part of the actual prompt you sent me yesterday.
That is part of the actual thing we're supposed to talk to. I didn't do the homework.
Oh,
I'm just sitting here like, what do I have? What do I have? What can I say?
I mean, I feel like you did. You got the paperback version.
Oh shit! I did do that, and I love it. And it's on my shelf, and I have to do a giveaway.
Ooh! I'm doing some giveaways too soon. Sorry.
Are you? Awesome.
Not trying to steal your thunder. You
no,
your giveaways.
Girl, you make your own thunder. I'm always happy about your thunder. You also have big news about today.
Yeah, actually.
Yeah.
Well, so it'll probably be like a week from now that the listener finally learns about this.
Yeah, but listener, it's still good news.
The Love Laugh Lich audiobook came out, and I'm just utterly like blown away by the narrators, like the voice actor Rachel LeBlanc. I hope I'm saying that right. Oh, she did such a good job. I love it. Like she's hitting every, like she's reading it exactly the way that I was like, yes, this is how it should be read.
Oh my gosh,
and
that is so cool.
Sitting there clutching the audio clip as you can physically do, and being like, what if I don't like it? What if it makes me cringe? Uh-huh. And then I was like, oh no, she's perfect. Never mind.
Why was anyone nervous? I wasn't nervous.
Yeah, no, exactly. And so I think, even though it's a very short audiobook, I think it's absolutely worth it because it's such a treat to listen to.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I will definitely listen to it.
Not me tooting my own horn.
No. We get so uncomfortable about tooting our own horns, but like, dude, we gotta.
Yeah, I know. It's so hard. That's why marketing is hard, I think, because you have to say something nice.
Well, and then also, like, you have to package that nice thing in such a way that it's not like, and then I did this thing, and I'm really proud of it, and I think you'll love it too. Right? Like, you have to, like, actually, like, give them something specific about it that works.
Oh, my God.
And that's so hard.
Today, I wrote 3 different newsletter drafts. Different things.
Okay. Which I haven't gotten a chance to read your newsletter yet today.
Oh, yeah, no, that's just about the audio. No, actually, no, it's not. That's about a different thing.
Okay.
But, like, the 3 different ones, I'm, like, sitting there for each of them. Like, all right, I made the banner, but I feel like everything that I wanted to say in this email kind of fit on the banner. Like, the 2 things are, like,
this
Etsy
email could have been a banner.
You can buy bookmarks now. Or audiobook is out. Go listen to it. Like,
okay, thank you, bye.
Like, that's all I have to say. I don't have long-winded emails, and like, I keep trying to like write at least 2 paragraphs, and it's such it's so much. But then I also like actually started opening like emails from other authors because I am subscribed to People Now, and there was one where this girl was like, "Oh, book's out." And that was it. That was the whole email. And I went, God, why can't I do that?
Because I tend to not write very long emails for my subscribers. For one thing, I don't read long emails. Like, there is one author in particular that I follow because she has a really fantastic, like, subscriber list and this and that. And she's really successful with her emails. And, like, she writes something that had to have taken her hours of, like, thoughts and preparation, and then hours of actually like finishing it, right? Like, it's a couple thousand words, right?
Oh my God, yeah.
And then I understand that she's really successful with that model. I don't even want to create that model because I don't want to be like subject to it, right? So like I tend to write what I think are pretty brief, like little things, right?
Mm.
And then like I'll try, like sometimes it's something funny and sometimes it's just like this past one was like, hey, I'm behind on deadline. Here's a scene I cut. Enjoy. Not safe for work. Scroll safely. Like sort of thing. And like I pieced out.
Mm.
So I think that there's just so many different ways that you can do it. And like it just doesn't really.
Well, I think that there is absolutely an audience for long emails.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I don't know. I guess if you can't bring yourself to do them, then obviously that's not your audience.
No.
Like,
and like, yeah, I think that there are people that would like that. They might even like it from me, but like,
well, you've heard of like Dracula Daily, right?
What was that?
You've heard of Dracula Daily. I'm sorry, I totally interrupted you.
No, you're okay. I have heard of it, but I can't even tell you what it is right now. I've probably heard of it from you. You've probably told me this information before.
Maybe. So you know how Dracula the novel is epistolary in form?
Yeah.
So someone set it up that you can subscribe to a Substack and you can get Dracula in installments as it happens according to the dates of the letters.
That's interesting.
And
okay.
like one email at a time.
Yeah.
So then like over the course of like, I think like 6 months maybe.
Okay.
You can read the entirety of Dracula in just like little email sprints.
That's very fun. Okay.
I don't know where I was going to go with that thought. I'm going to be real.
Okay. Yeah,
Maybe
I'm
idea
like sitting
was
here
that,
waiting
like,
for
you can get like 1,000-word long. I actually don't know that
Yeah.
they're very long because I haven't read it. My sister has. She's told me all about it.
You
You had a thought. I interrupted it.
No, you're okay. I don't know where the thought went though.
I'm sorry.
Because it is fully gone now.
I'm sorry.
No,
we were talking about big audiences,
long emails, big audiences,
long letters for audiences.
Yeah,
short letters.
So
for audiences.
Like, what I would like to do, what I think would be kind of helpful, is if I thought of like a series, and I told people like 1,000 words about that series until the series was done. You know what I mean? Like, does that make sense? Like
summarizing the chapter?
No, not even that. And by series, I mean, like, if I told them, you know, about the summer I turned 12 or something like that, you know what I mean? Like, and kind of built on it, but obviously genre specific. That was a terrible example. It was just the first thing that came to my mind.
Okay.
Right? So, like, if I told them about my accidental dates, which I have tried to write down, but they don't ever come out in a way that I'm like, this isn't entertaining. This isn't a funny story. Like...
Yeah, no, sometimes I feel that way when I'm, like, telling a story about something and I'm like, oh god, halfway through, I've realized that this doesn't have a punchline.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and, like, when I'm telling it, like, I'm much better at, like, sprinkling the humor in, right?
Yeah. Okay, so things you feel successful about from the break. Do you feel like we've covered it, or do you...
I feel like we've covered
want
it.
Me to help you
we can move on to the next point.
No, that's the first point. We are at 40
that is
minutes
the first point.
and we've hit the first point.
I think we can move on to the next point, you know?
Okay, well, I just want to, like, throw in real quick. I set up my Etsy shop, which I've had an Etsy shop for a very long time because I used to make wire jewelry and stuff. I do not do that anymore because I do not have the patience anymore.
Yeah, that sounds challenging.
And I didn't really have the patience for it when I was doing it. I'm gonna be real. I did not do a good job.
I felt that way about sewing a lot, where it was like, this is something I want to like, but I don't actually enjoy it. And me accepting that, like, this is not a hobby I want was, like, a very good decision.
So the Etsy shop, I have bookmarks, one for each book with my art on it. Very excited about that.
Yay!
And then there's going to be stickers. I don't have the stickers yet.
I have to say, you setting this up has me like, I want one. So I'm gonna have to figure out like what I can do. It looks like such a big kid author thing to do. I really want to do it.
I feel big kid author.
You should feel like big kid author. It's so cool.
But I also feel like a little bit of a fake. I don't know why. Like, just the imposter
Why?
syndrome, being like, I didn't do it the right way.
But you did. What would be the right way?
Well, so I have no idea if Etsy is actually the best platform for this. I did not research it. I just kind of went with it because I was like, I already have this.
Yeah.
And I just haven't listed anything in it for like a couple of years. So, but like, I know how to use this platform, so I'm just going to kind of go with it. And also because I don't want to pay more money to WordPress to like actually host a shop through WordPress.
Yes.
But it feels like it would be more professional if I had. But like, I'm also...
Okay.
You know, like I'm in
But
that
like
look.
I've seen your Etsy shop and it looks really good.
Thank you.
So I definitely understand what you're saying with like that whole feeling of like yes, Shopify is like a name that people throw out a lot, but like I need another subscription like a hole in the head. I do not need that. You know what I mean? Like,
no, I get you.
Yeah, there
was
make something
you really like pay through the nose to be able to sell things. It's like
yes. And it, like, yeah, it's only like $30 a month. But like, dude, do you realize like if I'm not making like I need a no cost of entry right now. Like that's what I need out of this.
Etsy, I will say, does like 20 or 25 cents to list something. Mm-hmm. And then I think that's all you have to pay, really. Okay. So you don't pay when it sells? No, you pay 20 cents to put one listing up. You can put multiple items in one listing, but then you have to your shop. Okay. It's really up to you how you want to customize it. And yeah, like I'm not trying to do a commercial for Etsy right now, but like it's usable. It's very easy to use, I think. Yeah. Also, you're not the first author I've seen use an Etsy. I think that's a great like entry point. Okay. Well, that is reassuring. Yeah. Yeah, no, I really want to do one. I've got a little bit of FOMO sitting over here. Oh, I can help you set it up if you want. Yeah. I would love that. We'll have to conquer that later. But okay, so yay! What was there anything else you wanted to share for your successes? Oh, I finished a project for an anthology that is I'm very jazzed about how it went, how easy it was to write. Short stories rule. Short stories do rule. Is that the It's another orc story, but it's in a more fantastical kind of D&D-esque setting. I remember that. Rather than the office setting. One. I know. I'm like real jazzed about it. It's going to come out in December because it's part of an anthology. And I have to wait. Yeah. Okay. So my anthology's already starting. My most recent one coming up is already starting in July to like do advertisements and stuff like that. So that's cool. I'm very excited, but I have to finish the book. So gotta get that done. But okay. Such torture. Okay. I know. Lightning rounds. God, it really is. What's something you figured out over the break that you're jazzed about? Two things. I figured out a couple of plot points that I was like kind of stuck on in this book. And then I also figured out my own personal writer's hack about sex scenes. Ooh. Because I love this. Listener, I really struggle writing sex scenes because I just like will write a couple sentences and I'll sit there and like really anguish over what needs to happen next and like what emotional beat to hit and like all this stuff. And then when like I'll just sit and stare at the screen for forever. But what I'm doing now is I am like writing 3 to 4 sentences on the scene and then I'll go on and keep on writing the next scene I'm actually working on. But the next time I open that document again, I have to write 3 to 4 sentences on it. And every time I've written more than 4, like every time I've opened it, I've written more than 4. And I'll like kind of like rush through the part of the scene that I've already figured out, like in my time away from it. And then I'll get stuck and I've already gone past it. So I can just move on. And that's been working out really well. It's making it so I'm not actually like tortured by the scene. I'm enjoying writing it, which is very cool. happy for you that that's working
Yeah.
so well. Do you
Thank you.
remember? Because you definitely told me this after, like a while after you read me this chapter. But the chapter where they're in the bar, where they dance to get low.
Yes.
Did you use this technique on that chapter? No? Okay.
No.
Okay. I'm just because like
did
I'm
it feel
still...
like I did?
No, like the thing is, I'm like the way that they were like so adorable in that chapter has just left such an impression on me that I'm just like,
aw,
yeah,
in a good way.
Yeah, of course, in a good way. I'm not gonna dunk on you in front of a listener here. I'll dunk onto you,
Marty. Listeners listening
after the podcast.
Okay, thank you. Oh man, just not in front of listener.
Yeah, no, I will pull listener aside to tell them privately what I said.
Oh, good. That's not my own personal hell at all.
Yeah.
No,
I love that scene so much, and I was just, just left all warm and fuzzy afterwards.
Yay! I love that. I'm really excited about how things are progressing for them. They're kind of, I have to just kind of like, because they're definitely on a high note, like as soon as they like commit.
Yeah.
And so it kind of needs to like be like a slow descent, which is, I just feel bad for them. Like I feel so twisted being like, I'm just going to torture them slowly now. Like, yeah. But anyway, what about you? Tell me something you figured out.
I don't know that I have not been using my brain all that much in in that kind of context. You
Has
did
that been
kind
nice?
of just yes, it is very nice to just be head empty, no thoughts. I love it.
Oh, that's gorgeous. Yeah, that's really lovely.
Also, but you did just kind of like hand me my whole book plot on a plate. One of our phone calls. Yeah. Because, like, I had been complaining about how this entire time it's been so angsty. Yeah. And I feel like I don't have the right plot. And then you were like, well, what if they did this? And I'm like, oh, that's an entire premise. And it's hijinksy. And it's a little bit unhinged. And it's exactly everything I needed. And I'm threading it in and, just sewing all
I'm
like
so
the
excited
little
about it.
Parts up now.
No, I'm really excited about, like, I made my suggestion, but as you've told me, like, the changes you've made to the suggestion, I'm like, oh, that's very fun. Like, it just gets more and more exciting as I learn more about it.
Yeah, no, I definitely think your suggestion was exactly what this book needed, and
Sweet.
I'm so happy for it.
Yay! That makes me so happy.
What else? Not so much brain power thing. No, like, I wrote it down, but, like, I don't feel like I can take credit for, like, figuring anything out, because it was just kind of like made a note to myself to figure out how to do the move to Ingram.
Oh, are you going to Ingram?
I think I need to look into that and like start that, because they've made such this probably didn't have as a big an impact on you because you were already had your books over
at
there.
Ingram.
They lowered like the barrier entry costs or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, they did.
Or like, I think completely took them away in some places and have made things just so much more accessible to use, which really puts them on the same kind of level as accessibility as Kindle Unlimited and Amazon and all that. And
are you moving your KU stuff over there too?
I don't have any current plans to, but the thing is, KDP has been shifting, not KDP. The rules with Kindle Unlimited have been shifting quite a bit. There's like a lot more AI generated stuff, and
absolutely
a lot of people are getting axed kind of randomly, and they have to really fight to get their accounts back,
stuff back, and meanwhile they lose all of the royalties that they've already incurred. Yeah. It's some not cool behavior.
Yeah, no, it's literally like the thing that Amazon has that's keeping everyone there is that they have such a big reader base that uses their software, and it's easy to distribute books to readers through it. But if being there is too stressful, I think we are going to see a lot of authors start to move to draft to digital, to Ingram Sparks,
That is the other thing I have like decided during our break, and I don't even think I've told you this at this point. So I've like gone back and forth on whether or not, because I'm in KU right now, but I don't like being in KU.
No?
No, I don't, and I don't find myself very successful there, and it makes sense. I don't think I'm a great KU author, right? Like I don't think I'm a natural fit for it, and I've said it before.
Mm.
But like since like I'm really not getting any page reads, like I get purchases more than page reads. So like I'm just going to move wide. Like I'm going to like unclick the box that says re-enroll, and as things come open, like I'm just going to move them wide. And yeah, so that's the other thing I've decided.
Well, I hope that works out for you. Like I hope that does better for you than being in KU, because like it does suck to be confined to a thing that you feel like isn't doing all that it can.
Well, and then also like I don't like the model of it at all, right? Like I don't like feeling like I don't have control over like all the different ways people can access it and like everything else, right? And so like there's just a couple things about it that like I just have never liked, and since I'm not making much money, it doesn't take much to justify leaving, right? So it's like I might as well just go. Like why not? So I'm glad I had the experience. I wouldn't relaunch in a different way or anything like that. Like I wouldn't take any of those choices back, but I'm really excited to launch into everything I possibly can and go that route instead.
See, I feel like I make most of my, I don't sell
from your page reads,
physical books, and I don't sell quite so many ebooks. I think kind of because the ebook has to be enrolled in KU in order to be sold on Amazon.
Yeah.
Like don't quote me on that.
I've been pretty surprised. No, that's how it has to be. And I've been really surprised how many orders I get. Like I don't get nearly as many KU reads as I do actual purchases.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah. So it's like I might as well just go. Right? And then that sets me up for like a good position, because I want that short story to be a loss leader into the small town romance that follows, right? And it sets me up really nicely to do that. Yeah. Anything else about that subject you want to share, or are we actually going to quick fire and move on?
Like, yeah, I don't have things figured out, so I don't really have anything for that.
I think that's fine. So, okay. So what's our next subject?
The final one is something you want to work on for the next couple of weeks, or just going forward, I guess.
Do you want to go first?
Sure. I really just have one thing for this. Like, obviously, I want to finish my book and, keep getting better at newsletters and things. But a big thing for me that, like, I know I need to sit down and do soon, and it kind of scares me. Not scares, it's just kind of daunting and kind of a little depressing to me, is that I want to change the way that I do my advanced reader copies.
Okay.
I think it's mostly like daunting because there's been so much discourse about like ARC readers and authors and like, do you send physical copies, do you send ebooks, and do they make your readers not feel valued if you send them an ebook over a physical copy kind of thing? Or wow, I haven't heard any of this. Oh, there's people talking about like suing their ARC readers for not reading and reviewing, which is just insane. Wow. Like, that is bananas. I would rather you just send me an email. Hell, ghost me. Just don't like just delete the PDF that I send you or whatever, and not the PDF, the Mobi file, or just delete it. And if it doesn't do it for you, I don't want you to put yourself through, no, and then also drag yourself to read through and form a review. Yeah, like form a thought to review this, but also like we don't know what's going on in that person's life. Yeah, no, I would much rather like things happen. You just take care of yourself and like do something that brings you happiness. Absolutely, and then like also like, because I tell them like, hey, if you don't get through it, like it's okay, just let me know. I'm gonna check in on you. Like I just kind of am like open about it.
Because, like, I also think, like, the way we set the tone of the conversation really affects how much people want to invest their time into helping you. Because let's be real, they're helping you, right?
They
Like,
are.
they're getting
But
a
the thing
free
is,
book, but, like, they're really helping you.
yeah. Yeah, no, that is it. They are so vital, and
Yeah.
it's such a fucking tricky industry that, you know, you can't pay for an honest review. So you can't really pay your reviewers to do the work of reading a book and then having a review, because no one's going to believe that it was honest if you pay them.
Yeah.
And like,
yeah.
there's a lot of platforms that have that kind of thing. Like Amazon, you cannot say, I was paid to read this, or I have an agreement with the author that I received a free book to in order to read and review it. Like, you can't say things like that because of platform rules.
Yeah.
Where was I going with this thought?
Can't pay readers. They get a free book. They're doing us a favor.
Yeah. Though then there's also the issue of, like, sometimes people volunteer to be ARC readers and then they distribute the oh, I wasn't even gonna say plagiarize. They just straight up pirate it to other people.
They pirate.
You know, send the file out into the world, and
that's really unacceptable. That's
unacceptable.
Cool.
But then it's like, how do you defend yourself against that? And like, that's like one of my big fears. But at the same time, it feels kind of like whatever, because people do have programs that allow them to rip the files from their Kindle. And so like anyone who just buys the book or reads it on KU could do that, you know?
Just
someone
do it
who
anyway.
Just puts aside the time to, you know, find things to pirate or put out into. And then it's like, so it's going to happen anyway. But
exactly.
Like,
and I hate that being my argument.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would like to make it, you know, I don't want to make it easy on someone who's going to make that choice.
Yeah.
But like, I hate that my argument is like, that's going to happen, you know, and like, it's really unfortunate. Like we're just little dogs. You know what I mean?
We're like dogs.
Well, like we're small. We're small fish. You know what I mean? Like come on,
I get
guys.
you. There's bigger fish
Be
out there.
nice.
But like the big fish feel pretty much untouchable. And little fish just get eaten. No, I get you. I fully get you. I think it just feels like when you have an ARC reader put something out before the book, like distribute a file they weren't supposed to before the book is even released. That's such a bummer.
But then, like, can you even tell like who did that? Like, of all the ARCs you sent out,
I have no idea how you would figure that out.
I don't know either.
I think you would only know because it happens before the book is released.
Yeah.
You know,
dude. Yeah.
Like, I have that software subscription for Muso.
Yeah.
Which is supposed to help protect you against you from piracy, and it has found pirated copies and taken them down. And it is such a huge, like, stress relief. Like, I know some people look at it and they go, like, $7 per book per month is, like, too much. But for me, that's, like, so much anxiety off my shoulders.
Well, I think also, like, your backlist isn't gigantic, right?
True.
But, like, I'm thinking about doing it because, like, I've tried to remove them myself and I haven't found success. So since I found them, I'm like, maybe I subscribe for a month or two and get those gone at least, you know, like.
Well, so the thing I really love about Muso, and like I will commercial for Muso, is that you can like pause the campaign, it's called.
Okay.
So like if you want to pay $7 this month and then like, you know, get the ones that have accumulated removed and then like maybe wait a couple of months and then do it again. You can like toggle it on and off like that, to my understanding.
That's very cool. That is very cool. I do like that.
Yeah, no, I think that's such a great option.
I do too. I think that's very thoughtful on their part. So yeah, no, I definitely see the value in it because one of them, like, I can't even figure out, like, there's no contact of this person on their site. And like the site that I thought I found it hosted on, like the hosting service, they're like, this isn't ours. And I'm like, okay, cool, great. That then whose is it? Like, how do I fix this? Well, but like also like I just want to write. You know,
I know.
Like, I just want to be able to do my writing. So, and then I have to answer this question.
Oh, you do? Okay.
I like how I could have just totally like went under the radar there, but I threw myself out. Okay, so I want to finish this book. I don't even want to say it out loud. What I want to work on. I'm trying to find like a specific way to like not give myself wiggle room in saying this out loud.
What kind of wiggle room are you afraid of?
Well, if I'm like, I just want to be more focused, like that's not specific.
Yeah,
how do I gauge if I'm actually doing that? Yeah. So, okay, to attain focus, I'm going to do a better job of writing down and updating my like weekly goals. So like right now, my goal is to finish the scene I'm working on by tomorrow. So I'm going to write down that the next scene has to be done, 5 days from now. Like 5 days from tomorrow. Sound like a plan?
Yeah. Do you think you're going to stick to it? Am I going to have to hold you to it?
Well, if it's written down, that's usually a pretty good way for me to stick to things. But like I need to stop looking at like things so far, like months out. So that's why I'm trying to do these really short goals, like these short-term goals, because like months out, I give myself so much more wiggle room.
Mm.
But yeah, I mean, dude, this book needs to be off to the developmental editor in June, which is fine. But I do want to do a round of edits on it beforehand. But my book after this is due December 1st. And like, girls got to get it written. So that's where I'm at.
While we've been talking, Austin overheard us talking about Dracula Daily, and so he has my email address, and he just signed me up for it, and I just got the first
hilarious. Email. You'll have to tell me how it is.
Yeah.
So do you want to give a piece of writing advice?
I'll give a piece of author advice, because it's just one more thing I remembered
I like it.
that I figured out this year that
okay
from doing my taxes. Save your receipts. Save your writing receipts. You do anything for your writing that involves money.
Or you can do what I do and just put them all on the same credit card. So when it comes tax season, you can just find them all. So smart. It works out really well.
You told me that before, and I was like, I'm gonna do that because it's smart. And I immediately forgot that you told me it.
Yeah, it works out really well. What is actually the best idea is having a credit card that you only do writing expenses on, because it takes absolutely no time to find all of your expenses. It's literally every single statement on there. But I don't do that. That would be the smartest, but I don't do it because I like less payments.
See,
so
I have like one of those back of the phone wallets that I've been using since college.
Oh, nice.
So it has so very little room in it. So it's got like my ID, one credit card, and my medical card in it, and like
your writing credit card would pretty much just sit in a drawer in your desk.
Oh my god, you're right. I would just keep it in a drawer.
Yeah, you wouldn't use it for anything else.
Why are you so much smarter than me?
I'm just so smart, though. It's not even your fault. It's all me.
It's not my fault at all.
It's not you. It's me.
It's all you and your big brain and your little fish body.
My big brain. Who's also a puppy. Okay.
All right, let's say goodbye to listener.
Let's say goodbye.
Unless you have a thing.
I don't want to think about it right now, listener.
Okay.
So, night, listener, night.
We're back.
We're happy we're
that's
back.
Awful. I'm cutting that.
We're happy we're in your ears, listener. Goodbye.
Bye.